Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. As you guys saw by the title, we'll be testing out dupes that are predicted in my head. So these are not like the same dupes you see over and over again. These are like products in my head. I'm like, wait, I think that's a dupe for this. I'm not sure. Or I'm like, I feel like these are similar. Let's try them against each other. That kind of vibe. I have some like cult favorite products that are very expensive that are high end that would be awesome to dupe. Some dupes are just like, honestly, wouldn't, like, even if it's the perfect dupe or the exact dupe, I still would buy the high end. That's why I don't do these videos too often. So it just depends on who you are, but some of these I'm very excited to test out. So first, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. So I'm a little bit clogged, sorry if I sound like stuffy a little bit, but I did just go with the Essence Hydro Hero Primer. Just this primer, I wanted to kind of give my face a very even, very smooth, hydrated base, with not too much like going on, because my foundation dupes I'm very excited about. I'm also testing out for the first time this Coconut Overnight Lip Mask by Fourth Ray Beauty, Colourpop, basically, and I'm so excited about it because I'm loving it, and you guys know the journey I've been on with lip balm. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so for foundation, again, it's super exciting. This is what kind of inspired this video. The Makeup Revolution Skin Silk Luminous Serum Foundation. I felt, someone had mentioned, they were like, oh, I saw someone in their thumbnail kind of be like, is this a dupe for something? And I was like, what would that be a dupe for? But when I was using it, I was kind of like, this reminds me of something. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. This is the Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation, but Luminous Silk, Skin Silk, Luminous Serum. It's giving the same thing. I don't know if exactly they were intending to dupe this, but I'm going to assume they are here. Number one. Number two, they are very similar on the face from memory, so we're going to put them to the test. Actually, let's go start off with the Giorgio Armani. This is the shade 7. If you guys do not know, this foundation is stunning, like literally gorgeous, but it's an arm and a leg. No, genuinely, it's an arm and a leg. And so I think did this mini cost me $45? The mini is $48. I couldn't believe that I paid that, but I guess I did. The mini is $48, like nearly $50 for a mini, which the mini is still, it's 0.6 fluid ounces, so it's not even a full fluid ounce. The full size is $69 for 1 ounce. Yeah, that's insane. So honestly, it's about time someone duped this foundation. This one, because like so little products, so little brands kind of make similar foundations in this one, I'm assuming whatever's in it is a little bit harder to create, or a little bit more like, I don't know, not something everyone does, because obviously we don't have a lot of foundations that are like this, where it's still like medium coverage, but literally is just super luminous, beautiful. It makes your skin look gorgeous, but still has that like medium coverage. And then this too is super, super like serum consistency. You can see the way it just like drips down my hand. It's super liquidy, and so that's what kind of was like, oh my gosh, wait, like these are definitely very similar products, because the other one, the Makeup Revolution, is so similar. Okay, what's funny too is that I like Elf dupes a lot of makeup brands, but I'm like, why do we need a dupe for the It Cosmetics CC cream? There are way better foundations out there that we need a dupe for. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So I was so glad that Makeup Revolution took the challenge on. It's kind of a little bit hard, because Makeup Revolution is super hit or miss. Super serumy, but Makeup Revolution is super hit or miss with their products, and so it's like, do we want to trust Makeup Revolution to make a proper dupe? I don't know. Like, if I had my pick of brand, it would not be Makeup Revolution, but I used this foundation and I loved this foundation on its own, like without even comparing it or anything like that, and so I'm excited to see what the comparison is. It's the same foundation. It's the same foundation. I'm gonna do like a second pump like I did for the Giorgio Armani. The color shades are not the best. All my shades and stuff will be down below because it's a lot to kind of like talk about them too. I do have to say that the Makeup Revolution is the tiniest bit more serumy. It's a little bit more liquidy, I should say. I guess I could say. The Giorgio Armani is a little bit thicker, but honestly the finish is very, very similar. The Giorgio Armani looks a little bit more natural. The Makeup Revolution has a little bit more of a like hydrated, more like radiant finish, if you will. So you could see there's a little bit more radiance over here than over here. But for $14, y'all, for $14, it's the same foundation. It's the same foundation. 14 versus 48. It's the same foundation. It's giving the same. So definitely an exciting dupe that I think everyone should try. We'll try the dupe version, of course. I know people do not want to buy the Giorgio Armani foundation. I didn't want to, and I'm surprised that I did. I think it was during a sale or something, and yeah, no way. I'm like cringing for myself right now. Okay, then we have some concealer. So again, we have obviously two. So first we have the NARS. It's the I can't remember what it's called. Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have the shade number medium 1.5. So wait, yeah, this side here. I like this concealer. I don't love this concealer. I think the consistency is a little bit more whipped. It's like not my favorite concealer of all time, but it's definitely not bad. You can get it in a mini, which is like, oh, it's $15 for a mini, which is nice because, you know, you could try it out. It's 0.05 ounces though. Like, it's not a lot of product, but if you want to try it, I appreciate that they have a mini, because this mini is not $48. Like, it's $15. You can try it if you wanted to. You can see the shade's not my favorite shade, but it's kind of seemed similar to the AOA Locked Creamy Concealer, so it's giving that they were trying to dupe it. AOA Studio, I have the shade MN1, but this one is like $2. Like, so honestly, like, if it's actually duped, then absolutely. It's just very cheap. So the cap comes off, like, it's just not the best made. Yeah, I honestly felt like, from memory, I felt like the AOA Studio was a bit thinner of consistency as well, not as whipped, like not as, yeah, I don't want to say thick, but it's not that the NARS one is thick, but it's just thicker than this one. This one's a little bit creamier. Yeah, it blends out a little bit like creamier. Yeah, I don't like the NARS concealer. I'm convinced. It's just a little bit dry over here. It just looks drier. And obviously the foundation's more of a natural finish, but this happened the last time I used this concealer with a different foundation where it just looked drier. So it's giving the concealer is just not meant for under eyes, I don't know, like mine. And so this one just looks a little bit more hydrating. Honestly, I just prefer the AOA Studio Locked Creamy Concealer, especially if you like that more like hydrated, juicy, more luminous, hydrated under eye. Then I would go with AOA Studio. And then if you're looking for, you know, something that is more if you're looking for NARS, well, you saw it. That's not my favorite. I am using two different brushes here, if you guys could not tell. I honestly think these are very similar in brushes. If you guys see, I don't know though if these are like sold separately or what. These are the Morphe and Ariel brushes. This is the A24 brush, and then this is the It Cosmetics foundation brush, blurring foundation brush in the shade number 101, in the shade number 101 brush. And so honestly, I feel like they're pretty similar. They're not the exact same, but like they both get the job done, you know what I mean? We're chilling. Okay, next we have some cream bronzer. This is one that I just want to test out. Like, it's not really, I'm gonna assume it's not a new thing. We have the Rare Beauty and the Colourpop bronzers. I'm honestly just use the same foundation brush. The Rare Beauty bronzer stick, I have the shade Happy Soul. I really like this. I keep saying the shade even though I said I wasn't gonna, but it's fine. I really like this bronzer formula. I think it is very nice, very creamy, and it leaves more of, like, you could see like a radiant finish. I keep wanting to say dewy, but it's not that it's dewy. It's like more, I guess maybe it is dewy, but I would say radiant, more of a radiant hydrated finish. It's definitely not like matte. and so I appreciate that when it comes to this formula. It also blends just so easily. But I've had this one for a really long time. I also think it's not like the most expensive product in the world. You know, like if you want to splurge, I always say like Rare Beauty is definitely on the cheaper end of high end of Sephora makeup. But I freaking love this bronzer stick. It's the Colourpop bronzer stick in the shade Moonstone Beach. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're super similar, honestly. Like if you don't want to buy the Rare Beauty, you don't like Selena Gomez, no, don't do that. But if you don't want to buy the Rare Beauty, you don't buy from Sephora, or like you want just something an alternative, the Colourpop one is just as good. It just oh my gosh, is it better? I don't know. I love this tone. The Rare Beauty is a little bit cooler and a little bit lighter, but I really like the shade of the Colourpop one. And so honestly, like I love this. They're so good. Okay, I love this video as well. Yeah, you can see I just look so like radiant over here, and then over here it's just so natural. I like both, but that's definitely gonna be would be a deciding factor, I feel like, for a lot of people, is that like this could be too much. Although depending on the powders and stuff, it'll probably set right down. But this one also, depending on the powders, could dry out. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I will definitely wear and love and appreciate both. All right, let's do some cream bronzer while I'm here. So we all know that this e.l.f. camo blushes are supposed to be dupes for the Rare Beauty ones. I mean, everyone's compared them, so I'm assuming that's what they're meant to be. I have the shade Love from Rare Beauty. Oh my gosh, that was really weird. I like accidentally turned it over and like it dumped out, but I feel like this shouldn't do that, should it? I don't know, am I crazy? Yeah, because it shouldn't. Okay, whatever. That was the Rare Beauty, but the e.l.f., I have the shade Bronze Bombshell. And they're not exactly the same, but they're pretty similar enough. But anyway, people say that the shades are, I don't know what the shades was supposed to dupe each other. Those are just the similar two I have. So anyway, my point is that people have talked about these a lot, but I just recently got and tried the Say Dewy Blush, so I was curious to see how they compare. I have the shade Cutie, which is a new shade to Say. I really like this formula. It's very thick. It's not as, you know, thin as some of the other ones. Okay, and then I have the shade Suave Mauve. So they're definitely not exact shades, but I'll be curious to see how the finish is on the face. But I really like this formula a lot, but I also really love the the e.l.f. So I was like, I'm curious to see if these are dupes, and obviously this is new to me, so I don't know exactly, but I was just curious. I was curious, and I felt like, let's show you guys. It's definitely not as pigmented off the bat, which I honestly appreciate, because I feel like the Rare Beauty can get out of hand just way too quickly. This one's definitely more like of a buildable color, which I really like, because it's gonna take a lot less. I mean, it's gonna, yeah, a lot less to mess it up. Like, you can't mess it up that easily if it's buildable. But I really do like the e.l.f. camo as well. That's the thing too. I'm just like obsessed with this formula, and it kind of reignited my love for cream blush. Oh yeah, they're definitely, oh my gosh. It looks like the same blush on the face. Even though the colors are slightly different, I honestly think they look the exact same, because they're both like super like luminous of a finish. They're not like matte or anything, which I don't love matte cream blushes anyway. So I feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, the consistency is not the same like when applying it, but like yeah, when touching it, but like on the face it's very similar. This side obviously still looks more luminous because of the foundation, but like if you're just taking in the blushes, yeah, they're similar. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's great. All right, let's go with some setting powder. I'm actually so excited about setting powder. Oh, I forgot to mention these. This is for cream bronzer. I did just want to mention, in case you're curious, I already know that these are very similar. They're not the exact same formula in any Like, they're not the exact same, but they're very similar. So if you're curious or you wanted to try the By Mario but you don't have your shade or it's too expensive, whatever the case is, I definitely think check out the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream blushes. I do think these are a little bit more pigmented, but I actually like that a little bit better because the By Mario, you really have to get a lot of product on your brush to get the color that you want, and this is the shade medium dark. So it's like you have to shade up and whatever. And yes, the idea is that these are like a skin enhancer, which is really nice. But I feel like something like this is not, it's very similar. It's very much so enhancing your natural like bronzes and, you know, like enhancing just what you naturally have. But it's still, first of all, a fraction of the cost, but also it's still pigmented where you don't have to like use the whole thing on one use, you know what I mean? So that's why I feel like people hit pan on this so easy, because you really have to dig your brush in there, and I'm like, that's annoying. So I would definitely check out the Milani. I love that Milani one. I'm a diehard Milani Cheek Kiss Cream bronzer girl. Okay, let's go with some setting powder. So wherever it is that I would just put it right here. So we have the infamous Kosas Cloud Set setting powder. This is my favorite setting powder in the whole wide world. I'm sure you guys know the drill. Okay, I'm sure you guys know the drill with that, but anyway, I've been trying and searching for a dupe for this for my like whole life, ever since I found it. And I saw this the other day and I was like, this is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Pressed Powder. The only reason why it kind of like reminded me of it is because obviously it's a baked formula, and Physicians Formula does baked products so well. I also know that Physicians Formula is very similar to Kosas, where I feel like a lot of what they like is very like, you know, lightweight, breathable, natural. Well, not necessarily natural. Well, it can be natural and still like more medium coverage, you know what I mean? So anyway, I feel like they were similar. So shade Translucent Glow, Butter Glow, Pressed Powder. I just felt like that was giving Kosas. I'm so excited. Okay, so we have on this side my Bling Brushes F51 brush. This brush is dirty a little bit, but it's definitely, it's from, because I wore the Kosas yesterday, so that's why. So it's fine. We're gonna just do it again over here. I honestly have no idea if I've stayed true to the sides. I very well could have messed up and not even realized it. It's fine though. Look, just look at her. She's foolproof. So stunning. Even set my under eyes with this powder. I just feel like it's so smoothing, and it just, oh my gosh, leaves this feather, pillow-like powder on the face that just looks so natural. It's not too dry, not too like luminous. It's just the perfect powder. The perfect powder. But then we're gonna go with my, it's the same, oh, it's the F21 brush, so not the exact same, whatever, but they're very similar, also from Bling Brushes, Paige Corin. We're gonna go on the other side. This one's clean, which is good. Oh my gosh, guys, are these the same powder? Guys, these are the same powder. They're the same powder. Look, the finish even looks the same. It looks the exact same. Like, even though this side was a little bit more luminous, they look the same. This side still does have a little bit more luminosity on like the high points, but like for the most part, they look the same. Well, I need to swatch this Kosas, my girl. She's literally running on E right now. Just gonna swatch it right here. It's like gonna be really hard to see for you guys, but okay, it's really hard to see. But if you look at my hand, so over here is the Physicians Formula. It's a little bit more radiant. It looks a little bit more like there are shimmers like mashed up in there, like more, I don't want to say shimmery, but like more radiant. The Kosas looks a little bit more what is the word, like softer of a matte, but I'm like, honestly, the finish though is so similar that it's like I couldn't even really tell these apart. I guess looking at it closely, you can see this side is a little bit more, still a little bit more hydrated. This side is a little bit more of a soft matte finish versus, you know, like a natural finish. This one could verge on too dry if you're not wearing a hydrating primer, or if you have super, super dry skin. Just the whole combo could verge too dry. My under eyes are gone. Like, don't even look at my under eyes, because NARS ruined my under eyes. They're so dry over here. But anyway, I think they're very comparable. That like I know for a fact I will be reaching for this again and again because I love this so much. It is reminding me a little bit of the Jaclyn, just based on the swatch, the Jaclyn translucent setting powder. Yeah, wow. Okay, that one might be like a better dupe. The Jaclyn, if you like the Jaclyn one, these are so similar. You guys remember though, the Kosas and the Jaclyn I would use like interchangeably. This one I would use for more so if I wanted to be more of like a natural soft matte finish, and then this one if I wanted a more of a radiant kind of finish. And so I feel like honestly these are so similar as well, even based on swatch. But I think you cannot go wrong picking up the Physicians Formula, whether you love the Jaclyn or the Kosas. This one is, oh my gosh, incredible. That was the other thing too, sorry. Forgot to mention, talking a lot about this, but I'm very passionate about this because this is my favorite setting powder of life. But this one does have a skin tone. So this one, I don't believe there are very many shades, if there are shades at all. So keep that in mind. This one does have more shades for like your specific skin tone. So it does look a little bit more pigmented. It's not super pigmented, I feel like, but like it does have a little bit more than the other ones. What the? I'm in shock right now. In shock. I don't even know what to do next. Well, we could do powder bronzer. Okay, so we have obviously two powder bronzers. So first we have the Tarte Hotel Harris Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer. I love this bronzer, and honestly, like I've used it in the past a million years ago, but it's just like reusing it. It's just the best like bronzing, just like I don't want to say natural bronze, but like natural bronze matte formula. Like it's just perfect. There's no shimmer to it. It's nothing, you know, like that. It's just a beautiful blendable creamy matte bronzer, and it's like, why fix what ain't broke, you know? Like Tarte does it right. This piece of hair does not want to cooperate. Like Tarte knows what's up with this formula, and every time after I use it I'm like, yeah, that's a good bronzer, and I forget until I use it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, like so stunning. But then we also have the Colourpop matte bronzer in the shade Silver Strand Beach. Hello, exact same. It literally is just super blendable, super smooth, a beautiful, gorgeous matte formula that genuinely is the same. It's literally just the same. And there was no question about that one. That one I was like, oh my gosh, I need to just tell them about it. Honestly, I think Colourpop just dupes this Colourpop bronzer dupes any perfect matte formula. It's smooth, it's blendable, and it just looks like flawless on the face. If you have any bronzers like that, whether it's the like Marc Jacobs old one or like the Pat McGrath one, I really love, but I honestly would like this would be comparable to all of those every single time. But like specifically the Tarte one it's definitely 100% a dupe for. Which I don't know if people talk about that. I know people like people don't talk about this bronzer as much as I do, and I'm like, I don't know what you're all doing because this bronzer is incredible and it's like, oh my gosh, super affordable. But I don't know. People do weird things, so I thought I would be the one to tell you. My skin looks so good. Genuinely like almost done here. We have some highlighters that we're going to go in with quick. So of course we have the ABH Glow Seeker highlighter in the shade Stun Idol. I'm not sure like if people end up liking this or like what the conclusion was out of this, but I literally wanted it so bad when it released, so I bought it. It was definitely giving what was it called? Amrezy highlighter for sure. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have to buy this. And it's a very hefty packaging. It's gorgeous, like it's stunning, and it is a beautiful highlighter. I do think it's like one that, you know, I'll just hold on for a while because it's just literally stunning. It's foolproof. You know, it's not gonna, there's nothing wrong with it, I should say. I just don't wear highlighter that often, which is why you probably don't see it that often, but it's literally stunning. I just have to go ahead and, yeah. I just have to tell you that, of course, look at these. They're the same highlighter, and I do think that people duped this Revlon one. Look at this, sorry. The exact same. I do think people compared this Revlon one. It's the Skin Lights highlighter, prismatic highlighter. I know people compared this one to the original Amrezy. I believe they did. And so honestly, it makes sense if it's comparable to this one as well. But if you were still curious, if you're like, is it different, whatever, I think these are so comparable. Like, you know, they're just, you don't need both. You don't need both. Oh my gosh, yeah. You don't need both. You just don't. I'm just gonna take this one down my nose because I can't live without nose highlighter. This one I've had for so long as well. Oh my gosh, a little bit goes a long way. You do not need a lot of this, but I do think, like, just go for the Revlon. Okay, so I was just doing my brows because I don't necessarily have a dupe, but I thought of this and I wanted to mention it because dupes don't necessarily have to be like expensive and high end, although that is the best way to do it, because why would you dupe a product the same price? But I did want to mention these in case like you prefer one brand versus the other, or like if you've tried one and then you're like, oh, I want something similar. I went in with the Too Faced Superfine Brow Detailer on both brows. I really like this brow pencil a lot, but a very similar one, I would say a very comparable one, is definitely the Rare Beauty. They're both very similar in that they're like more diamond shaped, a little bit oval, but like more so diamond, where they're just like have more like that. And so you could still get those sharp, precise lines, but you definitely can fill it in so much quicker than like, you know, a super precise thin point. And so I wanted to mention those in case you, again, you like one brand or the other, or like you've tried one and then it's sold out, which I'm sure Rare Beauty probably sold out at some point. You want to try the other, or vice versa, anything like that. You have a coupon somewhere, whatever it is. I wanted to mention both in case you're looking for a brow pencil like that. Honestly, I would have to go ahead and say that it's probably my favorite brow pencil shape, because it makes like filling them in easy. You can see I have super thick brows, but like also I could still get those sharp lines, so it's not out of control. So I love these so much, and I wanted to mention those just quickly. I forgot about those, but I feel like I needed to share it, and hopefully you appreciate it. I do want to go in with two brow gels. So we do have the ABH Clear Brow Gel. I just wanted to kind of test these because I've been obsessed. I've been truthfully obsessed with the LA Girl Brow Perfect Extreme Hold Styling Gel. I've been only using this since I got it, which is insane. But I really have been enjoying it. The tip is like literally insane. I don't know what that is. It looks like a bug, but okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Based on like texture, the Anastasia one is a little bit stickier, like right when you take it out and apply it. But I do have to say too, I've had the Anastasia one for a lot longer. So I don't know if it could just be like use or whatever it may be. But I do think they're super comparable as far as holds, like from memory. It's so funny touching it. The LA Girl is thicker, more like sticky, if you will, and the ABH is a little bit like creamier, but like going in the brows you could feel the ABH one, whereas the LA Girl I couldn't feel until like the second coat. And so I don't know, maybe it's just like the wands are not necessarily the same or anything like that. This one is more obviously bigger, but I do think that the finish of them is super similar. The hold of them, I should say, is super similar. I don't know, I feel like, yeah, they're super similar. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. I just think the LA Girl is a good alternative for any brow gel, you know, more recently, because I'm loving it. There's no residue. It doesn't leave any white things. I put too much pigment right there. It doesn't leave too much, it doesn't leave any white, what the heck is the word? Like a white cast or anything like that. Doesn't start to like crumble. It doesn't hurt. Like you can move your brow, like, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's a really great brow gel, and I was genuinely surprised that I liked it so much. That's all I was trying to say. All right, sorry if you're looking for an eyeshadow dupe. I don't have one. But I did go in with the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara. These weren't necessarily like dupes that were on my mind. I was kind of looking at my mascara. I was like, were any of them similar? This one is super similar to the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara. I do believe this one's not a tubing mascara though. That would be a big difference for some people. I don't care if it's tubing or not. Like, that doesn't change anything for me. It's just, for me, it's always just the finish. And I genuinely think these finishes are super similar. wow, they're super, super similar, because they're just both lengthening, voluminous, like they have the perfect, you know, like formula in my opinion, even though they're different formulas. And I do have to say, like, I feel like if I could get rid of all my other mascaras, I'd probably just keep these two, you know? I do have to say also that these are my bad lashes, these are my good lashes. So you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, but like these are my good lashes. No, yeah, honestly, they're like the exact same. That's actually hilarious. Again, they're different, I don't want to say finishes, but like this one, if you a tubing mascara comes off like in tubes when you take it off, a regular mascara is just gonna like, you know, run. I just, again, I don't care. I'm not someone who like needs a waterproof mascara. I don't particularly like waterproof mascara. So anyway, that doesn't bother me. I think it's just the way they look, and they look stunning right now. So I'm obsessed with this. Okay, last but not least, we have lippies. So I have my Say, it's the Say Glossy Bounce, I think it's called. I'm just gonna swatch all of these lip balms real quick. I have a bunch of lip oils here, but obviously the most expensive one is the Say. I just kind of swatched them all on my hand here. So this top one is the Say, this bottom one is the NYX, this one over here is actually the Milani, and then this one is the e.l.f. So obviously all drugstore, very popular drugstore brands. Touching them based on consistency, the Say one is definitely the most comparable to the e.l.f. The e.l.f. one's the most comparable to the Say, I should say. But I thought the Milani was, because I have not tried this one yet, but I bought these both recently, and I was like, the Milani just reminds me so much of the Say, and I thought for sure, but the texture is not similar. The Say one is a little bit stickier, if that makes sense. A little bit grippier. I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, should I just put on the Milani anyway, because I have yet to try it? I was obsessed with this color, not gonna lie to you. Wow, it still feels so similar to the e.l.f. though. I don't know, we're just gonna have to try them. Let's just try them on. Oh my gosh, I love that though. I'm just gonna have to put it on real quick just to see. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I honestly don't know that any of these are exactly the same, but I genuinely don't think you could go wrong with any of them. You can look at the finish. I mean, they're just so similar. It's like, how do you even pick, genuinely? I do have to say the, what the heck was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. I really like them all. The Say one is still newer to me, so I don't know, like, seriously, like, what I feel. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, that none of them are sticky. You know, none of them are like a gloss or thick like that. They're more just like lip balm texture, like they melt into the lips, moisturize your lips, but then they leave like a more gloss finish without being sticky or like tacky or anything like that. I think they all have that in common. They're all so good with that, and they feel so good on the lips. So genuinely, I think any of the drugstore ones will do. The Say one's not necessarily anything special. I just wanted to tell you guys that looking at it, genuinely, the foundations look literally so similar that, like, honestly, negate everything I said earlier. It is the slightest bit more luminous, but genuinely, like, as you wear it, it starts to become like more similar to the Giorgio or Armani. And so honestly, again, like, they're very comparable. Like, get both. Like, get the dupe, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need the $48 one, in my opinion. I don't know if you can tell, we're in my bathroom, so the lighting's not the best, but like, it's the same foundation. Oh, let me pick a card real quick. The card for the day says, may you live in the light of God's grace. That is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.